Good evening. I hereby call to order the Board of Directors meetings of the New Jersey Transit Corporation, New Jersey Transit Rail Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Bus Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc., and the New Jersey Transit Morris, Inc.
Good evening. Please mute your phones and turn your attention to the public safety announcement.
In the event of an emergency at NJ Transit, your safety is our top priority. Please follow these important instructions. In case of an emergency, announcements will be made over the loudspeaker or by a uniformed police officer. The emergency exit to McCarter Highway is the red stairwell located near the first security desk after you exit the boardroom. If necessary, CPR will be administered using the defibrillator. Please do not approach the dais. Documents can be presented to staff at the entrance to the boardroom. Please follow the directions of NJ Transit Police and staff. Thank you and have a safe day.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Abrantes?
Here.
Board Member Brown?
Here.
Board Member Morocco?
Here.
Board Member Nara?
Here.
Board Member Thomas?
Here.
Board Member Weiss?
Here.
Board Member Keenan?
Here.
Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Vice Chair Carson?
Here.
Chair O'Connor?
Here.
For the record, Board Member Nara is participating remotely. This is a meeting of the New Jersey Transit Corporation and its affiliates and subsidiaries. Adequate notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJ Transit's enabling legislation. Notice was filed on February 6, 2025 with the Secretary of State and sent to newspapers of general distribution, posted in the main entrance of NJ Transit's headquarters, published on the corporation's website, and sent to each individual agency and organization that requested such notice.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the December 11, 2024 board meetings? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we'll have President and CEO Clory present the President's and CEO monthly report.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. It's a pleasure to be in front of you. This is my very first board meeting, as you know, but before I present you my brief, I wanted to thank Kevin Corbett. He spent, I think he was the third longest serving member of the New Jersey Transit CEO Club, as we call it. Kevin, I want to say this to you publicly. This is a challenging job, to say the least. I've been here 3 weeks. I feel like I've been 100 here already. And I don't know how you did it for 7. So I know the work you did is not just a reflection of the governor's legacy, but your legacy. I know there's a proclamation that the chairman and others will read, but I wanted to thank you. When I was at Gateway, you were a true partner. You helped get the Hudson Tunnel project to where it needs to be, and I'm happy to be here in the last 13 months to make sure the progress that's been made continues. And Carlos Medina, the board member, who is, I think you left because I was coming. I think that may be the case, but look, it means a lot to me that I got to see you. You were very helpful for a very long time in my life, but especially at Gateway, and it means a lot for the work you did here. And I wish you nothing but the best. Chairman, I wanted to just give you a brief update. This is my first, so forgive me if it is not as verbose, but I wanted to just give you a bit of a headline of what I'm trying to do in the next 12 months. I've essentially laid out a 12-point plan for my staff from the first hour I joined of the things I want to get done in the next 13 months. They're going to focus on 3 broad areas. They're going to focus on customer service, safety, reliability. And the second is fiscal outlook and efficiency. The third is rolling stock and capital. These all on their own are very big subjects, but my expectation is if I can move the dial with the colleagues that are here at Transit, a couple of clicks towards a positive direction, that's a good thing for the customers and it's a good thing for the agents. That's what I'm going to do every waking hour for the next 12 and a half months. Trying to do that, we have to understand within the context of what's happening in the federal. We came in on my third or fourth day on the job. We had an executive order that essentially put a pause on almost $8 billion worth of projects. In isolation, some may say it's not a lot, but for New Jersey Transit, we get $300 million a month in reimbursements from the federal government. And that isn't a sustainable proposition if that continued. Thank God for the moment, the White House has said that they will not apply that to grants that have already been funded. And that's good news. But what remains unknown is what is going to happen tomorrow, next day, and next. And that is of real consequence to us because all the work that Kevin and the colleagues and you've done at the board will be challenged deeply if this were to come to fruition. The governor last week said that the total exposure for the state of New Jersey, should this happen to the state of New Jersey and other departments, including yours, Mr. Chairman, that would be $27.5 billion. That is not a number that we can ever replace easily. Somebody asked me this afternoon what my plan B was. Well, there is no plan B. There is no plan to take $300 million a month that we get from the federal government and try to somehow come up with it. So what I want to say to you is not to scare the board or certainly the public, but the customers, which is why I took this job for the next 13 months, expect and deserve is a 21st century rail system. What Kevin and you, Mr. Chairman, and the board and the governor certainly, and I've now worked for 5 different governors. I've never seen a governor who has expended so much of his capital to say that he's going to fix New Jersey. I know it is sometimes question whether that was the right choice or not, but I give him a lot of credit for doing it. That's why I took this. I think the governor's commitment to the state of New Jersey and the reason deserves the kind of attention that he is willing to give because he cares about the riders and the customers of the state and of the region. For me, when I look at this threat, I actually wonder how we intend to ever make up for it. So what I want to do is if we want to focus on our customer service and reliability issue, we got to make sure we get 1,000 rail buses we need and 250 rail cars we need in order to modernize the system totally. Kevin started the process. We need to finish. And in order to finish it, we need to have a reliable federal partner that makes sure that they fund these projects. So that is something I'm going to focus an extraordinary amounts of time on. And for our public members who are here, I want them to know that it isn't just the operations of the transit agency that we have to focus on. We have to focus on capital projects as well. It is state of good repair plus capital that makes for a 21st century reliable system. And I intend to focus on it, but there are some things that are going to be out of our control, especially if this funding threat becomes a reality. Equally important, as all of you know, on my 4th day on the job, we got the Presidential Emergency Board action, decision, which basically sided more with us than with the BLET on what the wages should be. I made a commitment at that point, based on the conversation, Mr. Chairman, with you and the governor's office, that I was going to reach out to the head of the BLET. I think that's the right decision. I've always said, just because you're on a warpath doesn't mean you take it. My obligation to this corporation and to the union is to make sure that they get a fair deal, but I have a fiduciary obligation not just to you, Mr. Chairman, but to the taxpayers of the state. I've met with them now several times. I intend to keep meeting with them, try and get us to a fair deal. My hope is at the end of this process, we can avoid a strike, because the idea that we will disrupt the lives of 100,000 residents a day to get a deal that will unduly hurt the taxpayers is not in the interest of the union, nor is it certainly in the interest of. So I'm working very hard, and I'm pleased to report that the union is working hard as well. This is thus far, been a very collaborative approach, and I intend to make sure that we carry this till the very end. But I want to assure you that we're also working through a strike preparation plan in case strike becomes a reality. And I hope it does. It's often lost when there's good news at New Jersey Transit. And this isn't self-praise. I've only been here 3 weeks. I've been able to look at this organization from a different lens. As many of you know, PATH has been now out for 2 weeks. It'll be out for till the 25th or 26th of this month. New Jersey Transit, both our buses and our trains, have stepped up in a great way to make sure we provide the relief for those customers who come into Hoboken Terminal. And for those of you who look at social media, I encourage you to look at some of the responses we've gotten from our customers. This is the finest of how New Jersey Transit works. And it isn't me saying it. These are customers who use our number 126 bus line to see the kind of relief they've gotten from ours. The kind of people that have gotten off at Secaucus Junction are able to get to Midtown Manhattan on our Northeast corridor. This is what we aspire to do. Equally important for me, I said communications is something that is important. I think it is very important when somebody looks at an app and when somebody's standing at a platform that the message they get on the app and the platform is identical. Not just that a train is late or it'll show up. We think it's affirmatively our obligation to say to the customers that train will be late by this many minutes and the reason for why. I think the customers deserve it. How many times have you stood at an airport and somebody at the airport says your flight is late? What's the first question you want to know? When will it be here? What's the second question? When can I get on the right? We think that kind of basic stuff is important. So we're focusing on that. And I'm also pleased, my personal obsession is windows on multi-level cars. Customers have been asking it for years. Kevin has made a first go at it. Within the next 20 plus days, I intend to announce a plan to make sure we come up with a plan to fix all 15,000. I think it is important. I think it is necessary. It is those small comforts that I believe that customers will learn to appreciate, because this is exactly what they've been here. The last thing I'll say about that, cleanliness of stations is something that I personally obsess about. I don't know why I'm wired this way. I'm just wired that way. So I walk around Newark Penn Station. I hope you've seen that the cleanliness of that station has gone up significantly, where you're going to hear more about it next week. But gateway stations deserve the kind of attention. I'm not saying other stations don't, but we're going to focus on gateway stations. BIFA is not just a 2026 issue, it's a 2025 issue. We're working very hard to make sure this year's games as successful as next year's. As all of you saw, Elcor in Hoboken did their groundbreaking for a 27-story, $176 million residential complex. That's going well. My colleagues and I unveiled 2 wraps for Black History Month. If you haven't seen it, they're wonderful designs. The theme of this year is African Americans in Labor, Hands That Build, Minds That Lead. I encourage you to look at it. It's a wonderful display. In fact, some of the designs are at display at Penn Station in Newark that were put up 2 days ago. The chief is in the police department currently recruiting applicants. The application process has opened up. We'll accept the first 2,000 applicants for review as you know, I think it is one of the finest police departments in the state. I hope people apply for it. Mr. Chairman, I want to conclude by saying this is an opportunity that I truly and sincerely appreciate. You and the board spend extraordinary amounts of your time, all for no pay, I might remind our public. And I can't thank you enough for your dedication. What you'll have in me is someone who will dedicate the next 13 months, every ounce of energy I have, every minute, every hour I have, making sure I do the best I can. That concludes my, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Today, we are bidding farewell to our former board member, Carlos Medina. We would like to recognize Carlos Medina for his service as a member of the Board of Directors and present an expression of appreciation and recognition. I will take a moment to read it. Whereas Carlos A. Medina served as a member of the New Jersey Transit Corporation Board of Directors from December 2022 through December 2024. Whereas Carlos A. Medina has been active member of the Operations and Customer Service Committee and the Safety Committee. And whereas Carlos Medina has been a champion of minority-owned and small business enterprises. And whereas New Jersey Transit has benefited from Carlos A. Medina's expertise, astute business acumen, and assistance in guiding New Jersey Transit in his mission to provide a safe and efficient transportation experience. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors, the President and CEO, and the employees of New Jersey Transit express their gratitude and appreciation to Carlos A. Medina for his contributions to making New Jersey Transit a responsive and reliable public transit agency, and wish him continued success and happiness. Thank you, Carlos, for all you have brought to the board. We wish you continued success and happiness. Now, please, can you join the board for the presenting of the recognition? What's over here? Come on. Before we have to... It's like... This is a long one. Okay. We also bid in farewell to our former president and CEO, Kevin Corbett, today. We have an expression of appreciation and recognition that I will read now. Hopefully everybody got a couple minutes. Whereas Kevin S. Corbett served as the Executive Director and President and CEO of the New Jersey Transit Corporation since February 19, 2018, and his last day was January 15, 2025. Whereas Kevin S. Corbett was the third longest serving Executive Director and first President and CEO in New Jersey Transit's history. And whereas when Stephen Corbett joined New Jersey Transit, he encountered a host of complex challenges, but he overcame these challenges, bringing positive train control across the finish line, restoring the ranks of the locomotive engineers and bus operators, and leading New Jersey Transit through a global pandemic. And whereas Kevin S. Corbett's vision led the corporation in making major improvements to service reliability, on-time performance, infrastructure, and innovative new ways to enhance the customer experience, all while running bus, train, light rail, and access link services safely. Whereas Kevin S. Corbett embraced innovation and delivered meaningful improvements to New Jersey Transit's system, resulting in the highest customer satisfaction ratings ever since the customer satisfaction service was first launched in 2011. And whereas Kevin S. Corbett led the coordination and execution of flawless service to events such as large concerts and sports events, and led to award in New Jersey the 2026 FIFA World Cup Finals. And whereas Kevin S. Corbett led the effort to develop the first ever 5-year capital plan totaling $17 billion, advancing over $6 billion in projects to date, and another $8 billion in expenditures planned over the next 3 years. And whereas Kevin S. Corbett led the corporation's capital program to become the second largest program in the country, advancing and delivering multi-million-dollar capital projects, including most notably the soon-to-be completed the Portal North Bridge, new fleets of buses, rail cars, and locomotives, and new stations, major station renovations, and expansion of existing stations, including the Hoboken Terminal. And whereas Kevin S. Corbett led this corporation to once again become a premier transportation system in the United States, recognized by the American Public Transportation Association as 2023's most outstanding public transportation system from among the largest transit systems in North America, and recognized by Forbes as one of America's best in-state employers in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. America's Best Employers in 2024 and 25, and America's Dream Employers in 2025. Whereas Kevin S. Corbett led the corporation with the highest level of professionalism and collaboration while being a friendly and supportive leader who others looked forward to working with, that resulted in improving New Jersey transit operations in a more effective and efficient manner. Whereas Kevin S. Corbett vision, leadership, dedication, and tireless advocacy on behalf of New Jersey Transit had left a mark on the history and success of New Jersey Transit, the state of New Jersey, and the region, and left New Jersey Transit stronger than when he took over and well-positioned for continued success. Whereas New Jersey Transit has benefited from Kevin S. Corbett's expertise, astute business acumen, professionalism, and assistance in guiding New Jersey Transit in his mission to provide a safe and efficient transportation experience. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors and the employees of New Jersey Transit express their sincere gratitude and heartfelt appreciation to Kevin S. Corbett for his unparalleled contributions to making New Jersey Transit a responsive and reliable public transit agency, and wish him continued success and happiness. Now, we also have a proclamation from Governor Murphy for Kevin, which Board Member Cruz will read the proclamation on behalf of the Governor.
Whereas Kevin S. Corbett was appointed on February 14th, 2018 as New Jersey Transit's president and CEO, making him responsible for the nation's largest statewide public transportation system, with more than 11,000 employees providing over 944,000 weekday trips over 252 routes across all lines. Whereas prior to his appointment as president, Corbett spent years serving our region's transportation and development needs, acquiring extensive experience across various industries and public service. Whereas under his leadership as NJ Transit's president and CEO, Corbett was instrumental in the company achieving significant milestones, including over $6 billion, or as the chair would say, dollars, in capital projects underway or soon to enter procurement. Whereas Corbett, during his tenure, released NJ Transit's first ever 10-year strategic capital plan and 5-year capital plan to provide a roadmap for future improvements. Whereas since 2018, Corbett fully restored NJ Transit's depleted ranks of engineers, added over 100 trains, and made improvements to modernize fare collection and customer communication systems. Whereas, as Corbett remained committed to his work, NJ Transit was awarded the 2023 Outstanding Transportation System Achievement Award by the American Public Transportation Association, the highest honor in public transportation. Whereas, among many achievements, Corbett unveiled NJ Transit's first solar-powered bus shelter with lights and USB charging ports while launching the agency's first ever electric bus fleet. And whereas Corbett was able to secure over $500 million in federal funding over 5 years for capital projects, while increasing that number in 2023 to $950 million in federal grants, and provided $15 billion in earnings for New Jersey employees. And whereas Corbett was instrumental in breaking ground on the Portal North Bridge, the largest construction contract in New Jersey Transit's history and a key element to the Gateway program, which will improve service and reliability along the Northeast Corridor for generations. And whereas the tireless work Kevin S. Corbett has accomplished across the tri-state has earned him the respect and admiration from colleagues, friends, and the entire state of New Jersey for his immeasurable commitment and passion to public service. And whereas it is my honor to sincerely congratulate Kevin S. Corbett on a job well done as he announces his departure from an incredible 7 years serving as NJ Transit president and CEO. And whereas, on this occasion, as Kevin S. Corbett embarks upon a new and thrilling experience, He should take pride in knowing that he made a major impact on New Jersey residents, and we express our gratitude for shaping New Jersey Transit thus far. Now, therefore, I, Philip D. Murphy, Governor of the State of New Jersey, do hereby recognize Kevin Stephen Corbett for his outstanding career achievements and immeasurable contributions in New Jersey.
Thank you, Kevin, for all you have done for New Jersey Transit, the state of New Jersey, and the region. We wish you continued success and happiness. Now come on up for a photo, Kevin.
Oh, look at I'm the new chair, sir.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, you're gonna let me.
Okay. Thank you. Anna Marie Ganello Persado will present the advisory committee report.
Good evening, Chairman O'Connor, Vice Chair Carson, board members, and staff. Before I begin my report, I'd like to wish Kevin Corbett the best in his future endeavors. It was a pleasure working with you, Kevin. And also, I'd like to welcome Chris Clory in his role as President and CEO of New Jersey Transit. And I'm happy to hear his commitment to the organization and to the public. The North and South Jersey PACs met virtually on February 7th. We received a presentation on New Jersey Transit's Human Trafficking Awareness Campaign from Vaughn Williams, Chief Marketing Officer and Vice President, Communications and Customer Experience. It was noted that the campaign was launched on January 7th to heighten customer awareness of the issues and to communicate strategies to report and prevent trafficking. Following Mr. Williams, the PACs received a presentation and update from Frank Bowman, Customer Advocate. Paul Wyckoff, Chief Government and External Affairs, briefed the PAC on the budget, rail strike, path closure, and federal issues. Barbara Lazaro, Senior Director, Government and Community Relations, provided updates on the Gloucester-Camden Light Rail and the Walter Rand Transportation Center Improvement Project. Regional managers from her department offered updates on local projects. Transit is supporting customers who travel to and from PATH's Hoboken Station while it completes extensive renovations through February 25th. Regarding tonight's action items on the agenda, the PAC supports item number 2502-01, supporting Middlesex County local bus service, and item number 2502-02, providing access link service in the region, in Region 3. The next meeting of the North and South PACs will be held virtually on Friday, March the 14th. That concludes my report, Chairman O'Connor.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public?
There are 4 in-person speakers and 4 pre-registered telephone speakers. Speakers, in order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Priority access will be given to pre-registered in-person speakers, followed by any additional in-person speakers. We will then take comments from pre-registered telephone speakers, followed by any additional telephone participants who are queued to speak. Those participating by telephone, if you have not already done so, please press *1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. The first speaker is Gloria Robinson Mills, followed by Tony Hall.
Good evening. My name is Gloria Robinson Mills. I am the newly elected chairperson for ScatterTag, Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Advisory. I'm not here to give a complete report because it hasn't been approved by the other members, but I will report that we have filled our vacancies except for one for Central New Jersey. At our last meeting in December, we had Frank Bowman to come and introduce himself and briefly explain how he plans to proceed to represent the customers in for New Jersey Transit. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Tony Hall, followed by David Peter Allen.
Sorry. Good evening, members of the board, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, fellow ScatterTap members, and members of transit staff, and members of the public. Thank you for this opportunity to speak, and I'll try to be very brief. My name is Tony Hall. I think the record will show that I stand second in line of seniority on the ScatterTap committee. Having served for over 10 years, perhaps considerably more than that. In any event, during those times, it's been my pleasure and my honor to try to represent the needs of the senior citizens and disabled residents of New Jersey regarding their transportation needs. And as a frequent or occasional transit user myself, I try to bring some personal experience to the job. During those years, we have met regularly. We've traveled here and there around the state. We have considered, voted, and rendered judgment on a number of questions that affect our constituency, and we've been pleased to do so. However, during the course of last year, an agreement negotiated by our then president, the esteemed David Peter Allen, who will follow me, was suddenly and without notice to us abrogated and canceled, thus throwing confusion into the ranks because we don't know where our line of responsibilities and authorities now stands. We urge the members of the board to consider reinstating the agreement as it was originally negotiated by Mr. Allen and the previous management. So that's my message. I thank you for your kind attention. Please keep up the good work. And remember that New Jersey Transit is among the most important activities that the state of New Jersey is indulging in. And again, keep up the good work, and thanks for your service.
Thank you. The next speaker is David Peter Allen, followed by David Anderson.
Thank you, Tony. Good evening. I am David Peter Allen. I make this statement now because the term to which I had been elected as chair of the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Advisory Committee, ScatterTag, has ended. I'm glad that so many other committee members have come here tonight. 2 years ago, when our committee was threatened with having almost its entire purview suppressed after 39 years, several members objected. We later proved to Chief of Staff Justin Davis that New Jersey Transit had always honored the committee's broad scope of concern, and he withdrew the proposed restrictive language. I mentioned this accord 8 times before this board, and nobody ever disputed me. On ScatterTAC's 40th anniversary 1 year ago, Mr. Corbett told us to observe, quote, not just the statutory requirements, but the spirit of the law, unquote. 3 months later, on April 19th, he repudiated that advice and the agreement we had negotiated with Mr. Davis, revoked almost all of our purview anyway, and threatened to expel any member who continues to advocate for New Jersey Transit to keep their agreement. As an attorney of this state, I am fully aware that by his act, Mr. Corbett sacrificed the agency's integrity and credibility because he broke New Jersey Transit's word. It's even worse than that. This agency suffers from a crippling and debilitating condition that manifests a lack of respect for us, its riders. Not one person who depends on New Jersey Transit has ever been allowed to sit on this board. The concerns I expressed here twice about the way we non-motorists are treated until just now have not even been dignified with an official substantive response. The state fought hard in court for motorists, but does not seem concerned about how we non-motorists get around amid numerous annulments, cancellations, delays, and misconnections. Even worse, in threatening reprisals for advocating that this agency honor its agreement with ScatterTAC, he threw the precious right of free speech of every committee member under the bus. The Supreme Court, as far back as Near v. Minnesota, ex rel. Olson, 283 U.S. 697, 1931, held that a state can only justify a prior restraint enforced by punishing speech otherwise protected by the First Amendment is by proving a compelling state interest like preventing the breakdown of civil order. Frankly, I can't fathom how New Jersey Transit could prove such an interest in suppressing a committee to whom they are not even required to listen. In Brandenburg v. Ohio, 395 U.S. 444, 1969, the court held that the state could not punish even inflammatory speech from the Ku Klux Klan unless it poses an imminent threat to public order. I would have risked Mr. Corbett expelling me for making this statement, but Attorney Kaluri, you now have the opportunity to remedy this injustice. I do remember you, and I wish you all the best in every way. But it's time now for reconciliation and healing and respect. Please rescind Mr. Corbett's expulsion threat and confirm that ScatterTAC members, including me, have the rights accorded under the First Amendment to all of us, even the Klan.
Thank you. The next speaker is David Anderson, followed by the telephone speakers.
My name is David Anderson. I'm a member of the Lackawanna Coalition and a new member of ScatterTAC. And I want to speak briefly on the importance of ScatterTAC. For many citizens in New Jersey who, as we, as a collective nation, get older, more and more people are becoming seniors and also more and more becoming disabled. It is important also that we be allowed to function as an advisory committee to this board and management of New Jersey Transit in the spirit of the founding legislation to provide service, advice on how to provide better service for those who are compromised in their ability to get around and to, just total mobility. So please, observe the spirit of the founding legislation and allow ScatterTAC to function as a good advisory committee. It is packed with talent, expertise, and we've had excellent leadership in the past, and we continue to have very good leadership. And I'm proud to be able to serve on ScatterTAC. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Operator, please open the floor to public comments by telephone participants.
Thank you. As a reminder, if you have not already done so, please press star one on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you've successfully entered the queue. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes for their public comment. A warning will be provided with 1 minute remaining, and again with 15 seconds remaining. And there are 7 public comments in queue. The first public comment is coming from Maddie Bucas-Highlands. Maddie, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. My name is Maddie Bucas-Highland, and I'm a New York resident and an advocate for people with disabilities. I first want to welcome the new president and CEO, Chris Kalari. It's hard to pronounce. I'm sorry about this. Is not your first time at a New Jersey Transit meeting. You were once a commissioner of the Department of Transportation during the governorship of John S. Corzine, and as commissioner, you were the chairman of the board for New Jersey Transit. On to the topic, and I first want to thank Kevin Corbett for his leadership over the years. First, as an executive director after Steve Santoro left, please put that name in the record, and then as a president CEO till 2024. So God bless you and your family, Kevin. And then on to the topic of New Jersey Transit. Recently, Amtrak announced that we're going to expand to Long Island on the Ronkonkoma line from Jamaica, Hicksville, Ronkonkoma. That gives a perfect opportunity for New Jersey residents who want to go to like Long Island MacArthur Airport or go see a friend or a family member at the Connequa School District, which is the school district down there, an opportunity. And then the last thing I do want to mention is that one day in the future we could have Long Island Railroad or Amtrak combined with the tickets for New Jersey Transit, or put a ticket vending machine for New Jersey Transit at Ronkonkoma, Hicksville, and Jamaica Station. The last thing I do want to say is transportation funding is so important. One was in 2016, and once again I do include the names in the minutes, under the leadership of then New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Senate President Stephen Sweeney, and Assembly Speaker Vincent Prieto, for increasing transportation fund. Thank you. Increasing the trust fund by increasing the gas tax and reducing the sales tax. So with that, everybody, please have a great day. Happy New Year. God bless you. I'll see you all at the next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Andy Weiss. Andy, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good evening. I would like to welcome the new NJ Transit CEO, Chris Kalari. I like your management style, and thank you for giving us an extra minute of public comment time for the committee board meetings. It's appreciated. I also want to thank the customer advocate for getting the real-time bus arrival times back on third-party apps like Citymapper and Google. That's a big win, and it's very important. And thank you. It really helps bus riders. Unfortunately, the NJ Transit bus manager, Michael Kilcoyne, never lifted a finger to help bus riders get real-time bus arrival time back in third-party apps. I'm pissed off about that, to be honest with you. Michael Kilcoyne, why did you ignore the real-time bus data problem on third-party apps when I had to do your job? I don't get paid. I did your job, Michael Kilcoyne. Can you share your huge taxpayer-funded paycheck with me? I could use the money. Last point, Academy Bus should never get more bus routes because of the terrible history. The NJ Transit Board should vote no and deny Academy Bus from getting more bus routes. Stop privatizing NJ Transit bus routes to awful bus companies like Academy Bus. Stop privatizing bus service to private bus companies who only care about profit instead of running more bus service. Academy Bus cannot be trusted because of the terrible performance in Hudson County. Academy Bus sucks, and shame on the board for giving them more business. Academy's president and CEO, Francis Tedesco, allegedly was quoted, "I don't care about NJ Transit." We, the people of New Jersey, will never forgive Academy Bus. Again, we, the people of New Jersey will never forgive Academy Bus. We, the people of New Jersey, will never forgive Academy Bus. Academy Bus destroyed bus service in Hudson County for years. I was a victim. I'm sure of it. The buses never show up. NJ Transit bus route privatization is a terrible policy for bus riders. Mr. Calori, please end this practice. Mayor Fulop also agrees with me, and he's running for governor. He'll probably be governor, hopefully. Vote no. No more business for Academy Bus. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Adam Reich. Adam, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good evening. First of all, I do want to thank Mr. Calori for the tone he set at the January Operations and Customer Service Committee meeting. I appreciated that he was very direct and in responding to the concerns that the public speakers raised and expressed a willingness to increase the hearing time. Moving to the agenda items, I note that one of the items is an amendment of the contract for services at the Trenton Transit Center, as far as, I think, construction and design work. Some clarity would be appreciated on this. Is this simply authorizing another phase of the project, design work specifically, or is this something that there was a change made or an economic condition that's resulting in this additional $800,000 having to be approved? I agree that work at the Trenton Transit Center is desperately needed and that the upgrades do have merit. Some clarity on this would be appreciated. Similarly, with item 2502-01, what has Academy done to prove to New Jersey Transit that it is trustworthy? I know the board approved a contract without really commenting on it. If you're going to move forward with Academy, I realize the options may be few and far between as far as other private companies you can contract with, but some detail as to what assurances, what changes have been made on oversight would be appreciated by the public, given the issue of Academy's prior fraud. On public hearings, I want to stress that under NJSA 27:25-8, the agency is required to hold rounds of public hearings before a fare hike is implemented. You did that last year ahead of the 15% fare increase, but Mr. Corbett's administration previously signaled that it has no intention of holding subsequent hearings. I stress that you're implementing a 3% increase each July. A reasonable argument, and perhaps the only reasonable argument, is that you're required under the law to hold a new round of fare hearings. Even if you want to take the position that you're not required to, the board refusing to hold one is basically to say that we don't believe that we should have to hear from the riders. It's an inconvenience. We don't want to. Surely the board and the agency can do better, especially since fare increases thus far have not yielded any meaningful improvement in service, and indeed many of the problems like equipment reliability persist. I urge the board and Mr. Calori to commit to holding a new round of fare hearings with virtual participation options before the July fare increase takes effect. The law obligates you to do so, and certainly goodwill demands it as well. I also want to express support for ScatterTAC being given broad interpretation to advise. Groups with disabilities are often struggle with services and identification. So having a group of dedicated advocates advising the agency on what I would argue are many deficiencies.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Matthew Walsh. Matthew, your line is live and your time will now begin.
I'd like to thank the board for the opportunity to speak. I congratulate Mr. Calori for his appointment as president. And also I applaud outgoing President Corbett for the achievement of replacing the Hackensack River Bridge. That's a very good achievement. I basically have two things I want to say. One, I would like to see the Hudson-Bergen light rail transit currently from Bayonne to Connolly Avenue, installed to Connolly Avenue in Hudson County, continue up to its namesake, B as in Bergen, the B in the namesake, up to Englewood. Englewood, for years, has been actually people up there have been developing the properties in anticipation of transit-oriented development. Bergen County is the most densely populated state outside of Hudson County. County outside of Hudson County in New Jersey. I strongly urge New Jersey Transit to continue the final 20 miles up to Englewood. That said, my second thing I want to say is I strongly urge New Jersey Transit to support Amtrak in the pending reauthorization and reintroduction of rail service between New York City and Scranton, Pennsylvania. The Federal Railroad Administration has greenlighted most of the work there, the regulatory process, and there will be 3 trains daily between Scranton, Pennsylvania, and New York City. The original line, which ended in 1970, was from Hoboken to Scranton. Well, this will be New York Penn to Scranton. It'll involve the Morrison Essex line, the Morristown line, and also the Montclair Boonton line for one of the trains. It's so they're New Jersey Transit lines, and this is very important because not only will it alleviate a lot of the traffic on Route 80.
1 minute remaining.
But it'll also help promote an alternative to congested highway traffic. New Jersey is the most densely populated state in the nation. We are currently at 9.5 million people. We're the most densely populated state and also the fastest growing state in the Northeast. I strongly urge New Jersey Transit to support the coming Amtrak service, which has been largely approved between New York City and Scranton, utilizing its right-of-way, the Morristown line and the Montclair Boonton line. Well, we need this right now because there are hostile forces in Washington. Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, which is anti-Amtrak, anti-public transit. We need all the support we can get.
Remaining.
And I support New Jersey Transit in assisting Amtrak in its redevelopment of regional service. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next public comment will come from Sally Gellert. Sally, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Hi, Sally Jane Gellert. I am speaking this evening in my personal capacity representing no organization, although I am a member and past chairperson of ScatterTech and current chairperson of the Lackawanna Coalition. I am concerned about the restrictions placed on ScatterTech deliberations by former President Kevin Corbett's reversal of his welcome 40th anniversary support of our committee. Just a few months later, last April, he went so far as to prohibit us from even objecting to the restriction or restraint on free speech. All county providers make a presentation at ScatterTech on a regular basis, with 1 or 2 counties presenting most months, so that we hear from each county at least every 18 months to 2 years. Shortly after our 40th anniversary celebration, in February of last year, 3 members of ScatterTech met with the Bergen County Community Transportation Director and his colleague on a 30-minute Zoom call. They were scheduled to present later that month, so we discussed their program and what would be of most interest to our committee. It was a good discussion. They suggested how we could help them publicize their services to town officials to better serve county residents, and in closing, they told us that the meeting had been helpful to them. Thus, we were amazed when New Jersey Transit staff told us that we should not meet with county directors, that doing so, quote, constituted duplicative efforts, unquote, whereas we were actually staying within the limited purview that was deemed appropriate. That direction, combined with Mr. Corbett's almost totally revoking our purview in April, reversing his positive January message, suggested to me that New Jersey Transit resents ScatterTech's legislative mandate. But legislative mandate it is, and I feel strongly that we have an obligation to our constituents, the senior and disabled residents of New Jersey who use public transportation, including county services, Access Link, and fixed route services. This larger view may be a time when Access Link is encouraging its users to also use fixed route services as they are able to with a companion. As chairperson of the Lackawanna Coalition, I know that our members have often expressed frustration at the lack of an integrated fare payment system between New York and New Jersey, and even the lack of integration between New Jersey Transit bus routes and rail lines for intermodal traffic. Hence, I found this attempt to wall off ScatterTech and the counties from other services used by at least some county system riders to be a disservice to riders who are more concerned with destination, schedule, and reliability than the identity of the agency that provides their mobility. I also want to stand with Matt Walsh and his support for New Jersey Transit supporting the Lackawanna cutoff. And we also sent, the Lackawanna Coalition sent with its speech today comments on Kingman Station supporting the 2-minute savings of time that you promised the riders. If you're going to close the station, we need those 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Jason Anthony. Jason, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Chris Glory to New Jersey Transit Corporation. It is lovely to hear the lip service from the new president and CEO and forgetting those in the Empire State that we don't exist. I wonder when those that depend on New Jersey Transit Corporation, in other words, Rail Operations Inc. and Bus Operations Inc., especially from Penn Station, New York, Port Authority Bus Terminal, and the George Washington Bridge Bus Terminal, are going to receive the same treatment from the Garden State. I want to give a message to those members from ScatterTech. We want to know when you guys are going to meet with your counterparts in the Empire State, because it is lovely that you applaud the job that New Jersey Transit does to you. But when you guys take the train on the bus to Penn Station or the Port Authority or the George Washington Bridge, will you guys love to be treated the same way that we New Yorkers take the train or the bus to the Garden State? And one thing to Kevin Stephen Corbett, he left us with a huge disaster that I wish that Chris Glory could be with Jan Lieber, Rob Free, and Metro North personnel regarding the service to west of Hudson,
1 minute remaining,
regarding the Cascade Valley line and Perjuris lines, that people like me are concerned, because if my beloved friend Orrin Getz was alive, he will be exploiting like hell right now, because I don't hear nobody else speaking about this in the New Jersey Transit Board meeting. And I hope that Shanti Nara is paying attention to all of this, because I don't see nobody, not even the customer service advocates, coming to this side of the Hudson to meet with advocates like myself, Christopher D. Gripe, and Deborah Gripe, and others, because we are the ones that pay more to get on New Jersey Transit trains than everybody in the Garden State. So this is all that I have for this month. Have a good night.
The next public comment will come from Tim Sevener. Tim, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Hello, I'm Tim Sevener from the Transit Village of Mount Tabor, on the board of New Jersey Association of Rail Passengers and also on the Sierra Club. But I'm speaking for myself. I'd like to thank Chris Calori and Kevin Corbett for their efforts on getting Gateway going, and especially the progress on the Portal Bridge. But I mean, it's going to be years before that tunnel gets done. And meanwhile, we have Hoboken sitting there. I know it's going to be down for a month, but then it should be improved, the pass station there. Chris Calori, you probably remember, because I think you were the one who was in charge then, when they cut 12 trains eastbound and 12 trains westbound to Hoboken on the Morris line. And this gives another option. So many times there's problems with the tunnel. There's problems with New York Penn Station. I listened to the gubernatorial primary debate of Democrats, and they blamed Amtrak. New Jersey Transit has blamed Amtrak. Amtrak has nothing to do with service to Hoboken, and those trains should be resumed. I understand that it probably needs more rolling stock to do that, and you need more crews. But you could pay for that by not doing the New Jersey Turnpike widening to Jersey City of $10.7 billion.
1 minute remaining.
And in South Jersey, the Department of NJDOT is wasting over $1 billion for highway widenings instead of continuing the Glassboro-Camden light rail line, which has been in the works for decades, just like the Hudson Bergen light rail extension to Englewood has been stuck for years. We need to instead of fighting congestion pricing, New Jersey Transit should be investing in transit, and the NJDOT should be investing in transit, not in highways. Virginia has done that, and they've been very successful. They realized it would cost 3 times more to widen the highways for the perpetual traffic jams around Washington, D.C. than to invest in.
The next public comment is coming from Vito Havrilla. Vito, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Hello, my name is Vito Havrilla. I am the Vice Chair and Legislative Director of the Lackawanna Coalition. I will be reading from our board statement. Our website is lackawannacoalition.org. Next meeting is Monday, the 24th of February, Milburn Town Hall, 6:45 p.m. Summit Station repairs neglected for too long. The Lackawanna Coalition has both individual and community members. Our representative from Summit, Patrick Allen, brings us this concern. Currently, one of the stairwells leading to 2 of our tracks is closed. It has been closed for months as the stairs need to be replaced. Prior to the closing, the stairwell was often closed every time it rained as water would pour in from an aging roof. The ceiling and wires have been exposed due to this water damage. Early last fall, the stairs shifted and were closed until repairs were made. This closure leaves only 1 stairwell for eastbound trains. It's not safe and rather cumbersome for commuters, especially during peak times. I attached a copy of the notice posted on the stairwell door, which highlights the closure with no timeline for repair. The notice also instructs commuters to call NGT General Info Line questions. While I did that on Monday, January 27th, the customer service rep was pleasant, but she had no information on the Summit repair project. He checked with the supervisor, had no information. There are other issues with the train station, particularly with the external sidewalls surrounding the sunken tracks, which are crumbling and pose a threat to inbound trains. This issue has been known for years and is not being addressed. Next, transit equity. February 4th is Transit Equity Day. This year, we chose to focus on our long-standing support for the Lackawanna cutoff to bring rail to the transit desert of Northwest New Jersey. This project will bring rail service from New York through Northwestern New Jersey to Scranton. Rather than make this a single day of action, we are encouraging members to call their federal representatives throughout the month. Next, action item 2502-03, design services.
1 minute remaining.
Once again, almost no information provided about the full project. For instance, what is the total cost of this project? We've complained previously at the lack of background and details regarding progress on contracted projects. We need some transparency on how you spend New Jersey taxpayers' money. Finally, disabled veteran on Amtrak board. We note the addition of David Capozzi to the Amtrak board as a disability advocate. We were pleased to see this diversity at national level, ensuring that individual disability demonstrating history or experience accessibility and mobility, inclusive transit will be heard of in deliberation. We encourage future governors to consider the same in future New Jersey Transit board appointments. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment will be from Jimmy Lee. Jimmy, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Yes, good evening. I just wanted to make some quick comments.
just, there's a lot of big picture things happening. The first thing I wanted to comment on briefly was congestion pricing. I think, there's a lot of mythology about what's happening, and there's a lot of rabble rousing, but the fact of the matter is that 90% of New Jersey to New York City morning peak hour commuters take transit already, and these are mostly served by New Jersey Transit, the biggest portion of all being the great New Jersey Transit buses, and next the PATH trains, and thirdly the commuter rail that is talked about a lot. And with congestion pricing, what gets stuck in traffic? Buses get stuck in traffic. With congestion pricing, those buses are no longer being stuck in traffic. I hope New Jersey Transit can advocate for transit riders if there is a reversal by President Trump or through New York State policy or through this lawsuit, this misguided lawsuit by Governor Murphy. That would be a big hit to the riders of New Jersey Transit. I hope that you all can release data that shows these faster commute times that are happening. And I think that's the proportion that is being served, that you also show data to not, so the state's not confused of who's actually taking transit to New York City. The second thing I just want to say is it's really great that the administration, Governor Murphy and our legislators have passed this corporate transit fee. But, I don't know if last year's fee actually got sent to New Jersey Transit, and there's talk that this year's fee may not be sent to New Jersey Transit. I think this is super important. Obviously, transit can be much improved in the state of New Jersey. Everyone talks about it. Everybody wants it to be better. Everyone roots for New Jersey Transit. There's money. It has to actually go to New Jersey Transit. Thirdly, I want to ask for 2 improvements to bus service in Jersey City. I think it's really great that bus service has just been such a highlight, and that you really have done really great work to save different bus lines. I just want to call out 2 bus lines again in Jersey City that run once an hour or less, but are the critical connections. There are no other connections for these areas, and one is bus 86. It loops around. Service is worse. Unlike many other lines, service is actually worse than it has been from 5 years ago or older. And 2 is bus 9. It runs once an hour. It was taken over from saving the A and C bus line. That's great, but now there's more ridership because New Jersey Transit is doing a better job. We need more buses. Please, please, please run more buses. I think both of these could be, once every 10-minute buses, honestly, but, start with something, try to run more buses. We could really use it. We can come back with signatures and,
Thank you. And there were no more public comments at this time.
Thank you, public speakers. Are there any board member comments? Okay.
Yes, Megan,
Yes, board member Nara.
if I could, I actually just wanted to address something that Mr. Lee just said regarding congestion pricing. And all I'll just say is, as a bus rider, and I'm with one of the private carriers because New Jersey Transit doesn't have a line where in my area that I'm using. But I will say this: my ride has been very smooth and faster. And I will put that down to less cars on the road. So I understand that there are a lot of our New Jersey residents who still find the need to drive in, but I will put a plug in for this agency. Our trains and our buses and the private carriers are all available, and we're getting in smoothly and quickly, and more quickly now. And then, if point of privilege, Mr. Chair, since I unfortunately couldn't be there tonight, I just wanted to take a minute to thank Kevin for his leadership in the years that I've been on the board. Kevin, I hope you're not still there, but if you are, or you hear about this, you are a gentleman and a true public servant, and I have never questioned your dedication to the residents of this state and to this agency and to its employees. And so I can just say that the whole time I've served on this board, you have really impressed me, and I wish you and your wife and your family well as you have embarked on this new endeavor of yours. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Board Member Cruz will present the Operations and Customer Service Committee report.
Thank you, Chair. The Operations and Customer Service Committee received an update on trends, analysis, and actions for rail, bus, light rail, and access link, as well as an update from the customer advocate. The committee also received an update on the cost of service. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Morocco will present the Administration Committee report.
The Administration Committee received a financial update. This included a summary of operating results compared to previous year's comparable period and fiscal year 25 budget, 12-month farebox revenue compared to pre-COVID, major balance sheet items, and federal COVID-19 relief grant drawdown summary. Additional information was provided as part of the agenda materials, including the cost of service key performance indicators, 12-month farebox recovery, history of vacancy, attritions and hires, ridership and revenue, and a monthly budget to actual comparison for December 2024. The committee also received updates from Human Resources and Equal Employment Opportunity and Affirmative Action. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Weiss will present the Capital Planning Policy and Privatization Committee report.
Thank you, Chair. The Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee reviewed the board items for the contracting out Middlesex County local bus service, execution of a contract for the provision of access link service in Region 3, including Atlantic, Cape May, Cumberland, and Southern Ocean counties, and design services and construction support services for canopy, platform, and accessibility work at Trenton Station contract amendment. That concludes my report.
Thank you. President and CEO Calori will present the action items.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to introduce Mike Kilcoyne, Senior Vice President of Surface Transit and General Manager of Bus Operations, to present Board Item 2502-01.
Thank you, President Calori. We are presenting for approval Item 2502-01, Contracting Out Middlesex County Local Bus Service. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract with Academy Express, LLC of Hoboken, New Jersey, to operate the Middlesex County local bus service for a 60-month contract period from May 25th, 2025 through May 25th, 2030, at a cost not to exceed $91,036,670 plus 5% for contingencies, for a total contract authorization of $95,588,504, subject to the availability of funds and board approval of New Jersey Transit's operating budget. We ask for your approval of Item 2502-01.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2502-01? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco? Yes. Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Keenan?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to have Mike also present for the board's consideration 2502-02.
Thank you, President Calori. We are presenting for approval Item 2502-02, execution of Contract 000061 for the provision of access link service in Region 3, which is Atlantic, Cape May, Cumberland, and Southern Ocean counties. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract with Easton Coach Company of Easton, Pennsylvania, to operate access link service in Region 3 for a 60-month contract period from June 1st, 2025 through June 1st, 2030, at a cost not to exceed $44,392,397, plus 5% for contingencies, for a total contract authorization of $46,612,017, subject to the availability of funds and board approval of New Jersey Transit's operating budget. We ask for your approval of Item 2502-02.
May I have a motion to approve Board Item 2502-02? May I have a second? Good. Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco? Yes. Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Keenan?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to introduce Bill Brooks, who's the Senior Vice President for Capital Delivery, to present Board Item number 2502-03.
Thank you, President Corey, and good evening, Board members. We're presenting for approval of Item 2502-03, Design Services and Construction Support Services for Canopy Platform and accessibility work at Trenton Station. Contract amendment. Authorization is requested to amend a contract with AECom Technical Services Incorporated of New York, provide design services for canopies, platforms, and accessibility improvements at the Trenton Station in an amount not to exceed $800,000, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 502-0.
May I have a motion to approve board item 2502-03? May I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brantis? Yes. Board Member Maroka? Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Keenan?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Members Brown and Thomas are recused from item 2502-05 and will not comment on the item.
May I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brantis? Yes. Board Member Maroka? Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Keenan?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Before we adjourn to executive session, I want to let the public know we will return to vote on item 2502-06, authorization for New Jersey Transit Corporation to enter into a settlement with Metro North Railroad for payment in satisfaction of outstanding disputed amounts invoiced by New Jersey Transit under the operating agreement between the New Jersey Transit Corporation and Metro North Railroad. May I have a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters, contract negotiations, the status of pending and anticipated litigations, and matters falling within the attorney-client privilege, including but not limited to the authorization for the New Jersey Transit Corporation to enter into a settlement with Metro North Railroad for payment and satisfaction of outstanding disputed amounts invoiced by New Jersey Transit under the agreement between New Jersey Transit Corporation and Metro North Railroad, and also the personal injury claim of Antonella Gallo. May I have a motion to enter the executive session? May I have a second? Any discussion? Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brantis? Yes. Board Member Maroka? Yes. Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Keenan?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The public session will be moved on hold music during the executive session.
You need to be careful with that microphone.
I hereby reconvene the open sessions portion board meeting.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Brontes. Here. Board Member Marocco. Here. Board Member Nara.
Yes.
Board Member Weiss. Here. Board Member Keenan.
Here.
Board Member Cruz.
Here.
Vice Chair Carson. Here. Chair O'Connor.
Here. All right, Chris.
Chairman, I'd like to call Bill Brooks to present board item 2502-06.
Thank you, President Calori. We're presenting for approval of item 2502-06, authorization for NJ Transit Corporation to enter into a settlement with Metro North Railroad for payment in satisfaction of outstanding disputed amounts invoiced by NJ Transit under the operating agreement between NJ Transit Corporation and Metro North Railroad. Authorization is requested to enter into a settlement agreement with Metro North Railroad to accept payment in an amount as discussed in executive session. We ask for your approval of item 2502-06.
May I have a motion to approve board item 2502-06?
So moved, Gainer.
Any discussion?
Second, Nara.
Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Marocco? Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss? Board Member Keenan?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Since there is no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned.